It's a yes bank maximum, the first of this contest. Oh, that is brilliant. It's a hero maximum. On the ground, down the ground, another hero maximum.
Starting today, you will play like winners, act like winners, and most importantly, you will be winners. If you listen and learn, you will win basketball games. And gentlemen, winning in here is the key to winning out there.
We've got a few sort of Coach Corner questions lined up from the listeners, which is pretty cool. Thanks. We wanted to sort of lean on questions around sort of death bowling, but just you can take it sort of wherever you want to go. And there was two reasons really. One of them being I was listening to a recent podcast with Mike Hesson, and he labelled you, Jake, as the best death bowler in the country, which I'm not sure if it's just Otago bias, but that's pretty high praise nonetheless.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that one, so
no,
they'll hopefully give you some confidence going into the season then.
Yeah,
he's at Rajasthan, isn't he, Hesson?
Yeah. It's I think he's high up on at RCB, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully he shares that with his boss.
Yeah.
I like that. And the other reason, of course, is the Twitter parody account Dr. Death 32, which is honestly some of the funniest tweets I've seen in the cricket circles. Obviously, it was run a while ago by some of the older vaults at the time. I had a few gems like a couple of my favourites here. Congrats on the career, Ian Butler. If I have a career as good as yours, then I clearly haven't reached my unlimited potential. And another one that I really do like is, and you talked about the Champions League before, and it was regarding packing for the Champions League in India, man of the tournament speech, check. So, Duff, what was happening around this time?
Oh, I'll tell you the worst part of that is one of my friends come to me and said, one of my school friends from back in the day comes to me and said their dad told them, some of us sort of come to them and said, geez, that Jacob's really got a bit big-headed, isn't he? being genuinely serious. And I was like, oh, no. There's actually people out there that think that's me. It's just horrific. So after I heard, I always thought they were quite funny too. But then after I heard that, I was like, oh, no. If there's one, there's got to be more. So that can't be happening. That was Sam Wells was the creator of that, who's a smart and witty man. So, yeah. He's a bit of a genius, to be fair. So he was good at his job.
That was very outstanding. So I do have a couple of actual questions from the listeners. The first one is, what does it say? When you're at the top of your mark, how do you stay calm and in control when the batter is on top? Like, let's say you're bowling at the death, you're at you got a set batsman. 80 off 40. What's your thought process?
Good question. So I sort of, in my head, I've only got really 3 or 4 different sort of sets of plans to go with in terms of field sets and then the balls that go to those fields. So you obviously do your scouting and stuff, and especially in New Zealand, guys streaks pretty well, or sometimes you're playing on the edge of the block or something. So it kind of tells you, if you've got a short side, that you have to go to one of those fields, say a leg side field or a wide hole, or whatever it is. So, so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what's the right plan for the situation and for this guy on this pitch and this ground? So I've sort of got 3 or 4 options, whether it's a spinner's field, which means that fine leg and third man are up, and so I've got everyone in front of square, or I've got a wide hole field set, or I've got a leg side field set. Those are my options. Like, those are, I know them very well. So, and what balls I can bowl to them. And then at the end of the day, after that, once I've decided that plan, normally each of those plans have got 2 or 3 balls I can bowl to. Because you don't want to be the one ball plan. Then it's just about executing. And then, if you execute and he still gets you, then I'm pretty okay. I'm pretty okay with that. I think that's something I've sort of grown to learn, is that if I'm putting my plans out there and I'm executing and still getting hit, I can review the plan later, but I'm happy I executed, so whatever, he can have it. If I'm mis-executing, that's a bit of a problem. Then I got to sort of change the plan up and find something that's working on the day. But it's kind of part of the game these days. Batters are getting good, and 2020 and stuff just making everyone bloody whack it. So you've just got to be able to take the heat and get hit every now and then. So everyone else is. So if you have a bad day, then who gives a shit, really? That's sort of my mentality.
It's, you're hiding to nothing sort of thing at the top of your mark, where you're sort of the batter's expected to sort of win that battle most of the time. So that's quite a good way of thinking about it. You talked about when you're setting a field. So what's the sort of balance between sort of setting a field between, like, if it's too obvious to the batsman and then they know exactly what you're doing, to like bowling to a set field? Is there a fine line between that?
There is, but I think most fields you like to think you have a couple of balls you can bowl to.
Yeah.
If you've only got one option, because then you're right, your batter knows them exactly as is. The only time I'd say when a batter is really on top and he seems to be hitting every single one of your options out of the ground, then you just got to go, okay, I'm going to go with this field, and he knows exactly what I'm bowling. But if I hit it, say a wide Yorker field, right? You got no one on the leg ball, hardly anyone on the leg side. If he's absolutely creaming you on every other option, then I just got to. That's the only time I'd bowl like sort of a one ball field, and then it's just you versus some execution versus execution. If I hit, then he's going to get one.
Nice. So we have actually, that's a good sort of segue to another listener question, and he wants to know who's the hardest player to bowl at, and I guess it'd be. I would imagine it's someone that's put you in that sort of situation when they're hitting absolutely everything out the park.
Yeah. This is actually, I was thinking about this the other day when you guys were doing your draft. I was on the bus on the way to one of the trainings or something in India. And you guys were doing your draft and stuff. It was good content, actually, guys.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks for that.
You guys should actually do a snake draft, actually, I think. So you one pick each sort of thing. And, we're going off track, but...
Stay tuned, Duff. We do have one on the pipelines, hopefully.
We've got a big one for the World Cup, actually.
Oh, nice.
Might get you in as a guest draftee if you can.
Yeah, that sounds good, actually.
Finn Allen, you reckon?
Anyone that just doesn't give a shit, I reckon. It looks like he doesn't give a shit, when he bats, so he comes out and swings from ball one. It's slightly annoying to bowl to. Like they can just, any ball can go. Like you can bowl your best ball and it can still go. So a guy like a low-key bloke, like a Custody Clark from ND, he's sort of that same mould, whereas obviously not quite as skilled, but he comes out and just swings from ball one. And it just looks like he doesn't give a shit, but obviously Finn's very good, and he's got a method to his madness, but he's a clean ball striker and comes from ball one, and he can literally hit a six from ball one, which we've seen before too. So he's probably the hardest guy I've ever bowled to, I think. Yeah,
no, good. That's good to hear. Obviously, we're big Finn Allen fans on this podcast. Actually, because I talked about him a bit with Smudge on another podcast, and we just talked about how long his levers are. He sort of has the ability to get power to the ball when it doesn't look like he's near it, but he seems to be able to hit it with so much power.
He moves around the crease a lot too, so he gets inside the ball and sort of hits you through the offside, and then he'll step across and, he'll access like a sort of fifth stump ball. He'll get it over like fine leg or something, That sort of niggling movement I find pretty frustrating too, especially it's quite late. It's not like he moves and sets up. He sort of moves just on the go, and whether it's levers, whether it's like just brilliant hand-eye, I'm not quite sure, but the dude's pretty bloody good, and he's hurt me. He's hurt me quite a few times.
One other question was someone wanting to know sort of how many slow balls you've got. I mean, I'm in the ilk if you just need one that turns either way, but it'd be interesting to see your take on sort of how many variations you do need.
Yeah, I'm with you there, mate. I think if you've got one that goes away from a lefty and away from a righty, then you're on to that's enough.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of depends what bowl you are too. If you're like, if you hit good Yorkers and stuff, then sort of one each way is enough. But then if you're a Benny Howe, say, who bowls 115 k's an hour, has to have 15 different style balls. So, it kind of, there's different types of cricket out there, and there's no right or wrong answer. But I definitely wouldn't say if you got two, then just give up on a third, because I think we're all still working and trying to get better at, upskilling and finding different ways. I think that's probably the funnest part about bowling in this day and age, is that you're actually allowed to try shit and fail and stuff, and you can see what you come up with to sort of deceive batters, because they're not getting any worse, are they? They're hitting the ball sort of bigger and further, so we got to do something to counteract that.
It's sort of swung in their favour, isn't it? Even if you try and fail, the result's probably going to be similar, so you might as well see what you can come up with.
Yeah, it's a negative brand, but
yeah.
All else fails, there's always Mancats.
Oh, Matthew.
No, that whole slow ball thing is just about trial and error, though.
Yeah.
I actually played. You guys know Betty Howe?
He plays for that Birmingham for the 100, doesn't he? Yeah, he's slow, isn't he? But he's got all these slow balls.
Yeah, so he played for my club one season when I was over there, doing a club stint in Bristol. And he would come to Thursday night training and just bowl leg spin, he'd bowl off spin, like just all these different ways. Like that was his training, just trying to find ways to make the ball do something random, sort of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. That's good. That kind of stuff's fun. Like, it's good to have a session like that every now and then, just see what you can discover, whether you do split fingers or knuckles or back of the handers, whatever it is. Like, it can't hurt. And if you have a good time doing it, then it's hardly training.
The old, funny you say the old split finger, because that's really probably become a lost art in the slow ball, hasn't it? I remember when I first started, that was like you had an off cutter and a split finger, and that was it. Yeah. But now it seems that's probably a bit too obvious.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, I haven't really played with it myself, but I know that Benny was big on it, so there's me some merit to it.
He's got a pretty successful career at the short format. There's obviously, I always hear talks of him playing at the high level, but he hasn't had a chance.
He's an unbelievable record, I think.
Yeah, so I guess that sort of shows if you've got if you don't have the pace, if you've got several slow balls, you can still do the job.
No, well, he's doing all right. I think he's in the IPL this year too, so he's doing well for himself, and it's that lack of pace I think that suits him the best.
Right, Duff, you've given us more than enough time tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and best of luck for Otago this season. Hopefully, we'll see you in a black shirt soon.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Bloody good time. Cheers, boys.